Welcome to another session of Microsoft Excel. We have been learning about Microsoft Excel for quite some time. We learned about the different features, the different functions, the different formulas that are there. We have also learned about how to input data. We have learned about how to format cells, how to use a page break, how to use the different paste functions, and also learned about how to print a document. Right now, we will be learning about two other most features of Microsoft Excel. One, how to save your document in different formats. And second, how to protect your spreadsheet. So let's start our session for the day. So as you can see, we have been learning about saving Excel in different formats and also protecting Excel. Now, how do you save Excel in different formats? Users can save their spreadsheets or workbooks in different formats. For example, CSV, template, PDF, right? So you can actually save your spreadsheets in various formats. For example, you can use a workbook format, you can use a binary workbook or a macro enabled workbook. You can also, in case if it's a previous version that you are using, let's say a file has been sent to you using an older Office version, you can save it in the 97 to 2003 workbook format. There's a CSV format. There's an XML data, which is Microsoft Excel data itself. Single file web page, Excel template. As you can see that there are Excel templates. So you remember in the very beginning when we started Excel, I told you how you can create your own template. So obviously saving it as a template or a macro enabled template. Yeah. Then there is text, there is Unicode text, there is XML spreadsheet, again, Microsoft Excel 5.0 95 workbook, CSV format, formatted text, CSV in the MacBook. If you're using a MacBook, iPad, you can save it in that format itself. There's the MS-DOS format also. There's the data interchange format. There's a symbolic link. There is PDF, Excel add-in, XPS, etc. So there are a lot of different formats where you can save the document in. So let's learn mostly how you can save them. So we'll go back and go here. Now you see, I already want to save this document, right? So what I'll do is I'll go to Excel workbook and you see the different types of workbook in the different ways. So one of the most important ways is obviously saving it as a PDF format, because the moment you save it as a PDF format, you will be able to see the document in the PDF format itself. So then it opens in a PDF reader and not in an Excel format. Again, if you've shared, somebody has shared an Excel file with you and they are using an older version of Microsoft Office, right, or a Microsoft Excel application, doesn't mean that you won't be able to view their document. Obviously you'll be able to view their document. What you just have to do is you have to make sure that you view the document in a uh, and you save the document in the 97 to 2003 workbook. The moment you save in a 97 to 2003 workbook, you will be able to exactly see the document the way it is, but in your own system. That means you do not need to open an older version of Microsoft Excel. You can see it in your latest version itself, right? Obviously, templates. You remember how we created templates at the very beginning of the session in Microsoft Excel? Well, you can save your documents in those predefined templates as well, right? So you can save it in the predefined templates. You can save it as a workbook. You can save it as a formatted text, then template, XML data. You can also make sure that you can saving it as a macro enabled workbook or as a binary workbook. You can even, if you are using a Mac, MacBook, you can save it in the Macintosh format as well. So Macintosh has a different CSV and a text format. You can save them in that format also. Then there is add-ins which are there. XPS documents are also there. There's an open XML spreadsheet and an open document spreadsheet as well. So you see there are different formats which are available, and you can also save your Excel as a web page. Just for instance, let's say you want to see how your data looks in a web page, you will be able to save that document also in a web page format. Yeah. So this is how it will look like. So to understand your Microsoft Excel, to save your Microsoft Excel, you do not need to convert it after saving the file. You can save the file in the required format that you, as per your requirement and the way you want it. The two most used formats are the CSV format is one, because a lot of people will be updating content, updating a list of data or details on their web page and all, and a lot of these websites they only take CSV formats. So yes, CSV format is one of the most important formats that is required, and you might require to save the data in that format. The next is the PDF document as well. So PDF is also a very, very important format, and you can only open, like, you have your Excel sheet spread obviously, but it's a copy that you can open in the PDF reader as well, and also can distribute it, because then it's much more easier to use. So please, you can always save your document in several formats. What you can do is you can also go, and while saving your document, you can try checking which are the different formats which are available and how it can be beneficial for you. The next thing that we will be learning is how to protect your document. Users can prevent other users from viewing hidden worksheets, adding, moving, deleting, or hiding worksheets by protecting the Microsoft Excel with a password. Protecting the workbook is not the same as protecting the Excel file. Now, a lot of times when you're working with data, the data can be very different and very confidential and important for you. For example, let's say you're working on a population survey, and then you have noticed certain patterns and all, and you are still working on it, and you do not want to share it, or you do not want that information to leak. Or let's say, for example, you're working on a new product and you have already started thinking about the manufacturing, and you know how it's going to roll out, what is the timeline look like, how the responsibilities are going to be, and all those things. You do not want to share that with everybody, right? You do not want that information to go into the wrong hands specifically. Now, what happens is, let's say, if you protect your document, the documents which are very much important to you, which you only require, you can protect them with a password. Now, every time you add a password, Microsoft Excel, because this is an offline document, they won't remember the password like Microsoft Edge does. So it's always better that you remember the password or note it down somewhere which will be with you. Not, you should not be keeping it out in the open. Okay, this is my password and you can open the document. No. The whole idea of applying a password and protecting your document is so that there is no information leak or information loss, right? To do that, you have to make sure that you're protecting your document properly. So let's see how to protect your document. So I'll go back and we'll go to this Excel sheet. Yeah. And once you go to review, you see there's a protect sheet. Now, what you have to do is, if you click on protect sheet, you can only will be able to protect this sheet, right? Protect workbook will be different, but protect sheet is different. Again, you have to go to the review ribbon menu, and then in protect, you will be able to see protect sheet. You can put a password here. Make sure allow all users of this worksheet to select lock cells, unlock cells. So let's say if you have locked and unlocked cells, format them. In case you don't want them to do anything, you can do that as well. But let's say this is only for you. You want this document. You can select all of them and make sure that you keep the password to yourself and work around it. Again, in case you want to share this password with only certain team members, you can also dedicate it to see how they will be using that file, right? How they will be looking into that file and all, you will be able to see that. So you have to make sure that you are copying and saving the document and putting a password on that you will be able to remember or you note it down. Second of all, that it should not be out in the open, that you should not keep your password everywhere just so that other people can access your information. Thirdly, making sure that whatever access you are sharing, you click on this dialog box. So see, they can format the cells if they want to, format columns if they want to, insert columns, insert rows. When you give them this, they will be able to do only this many functions, right? That's about it. They won't be able to do anything else. Whenever you're sharing your password with other team members, they will not be able to do anything else. They will only be able to do certain things. So this is how the whole thing looks like, right? Now, if you want to protect a workbook, what you have to do is you have to go here and you have to put a password. That means all the pages in the workbook will be saved. That means all the pages in the workbook will be saved. So you will be able to use the workbook in your own way, right? Again, if you're protecting a workbook, that means you're protecting the whole workbook, right? So that means all the spreadsheets that are included, all the worksheets that are included will be saved there. So protecting a sheet is different, protecting a workbook is different, right? Protecting a workbook means you are saving and you're protecting and password protecting the whole workbook. So all the spreadsheets in that workbook will be saved and protected. Again, if you're protecting a sheet, that means sheet wise you have to put a password. That is, let's say you have 10 sheets here, 10 sheets. If you want to protect them, or let's say 5 sheets, you are saving those individually 5 sheets and applying password there, right? So that you will be able to use it for your later use, or there is no information leak or information loss, right? So this is all about protecting the workbook.